Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Bridge coming to you here today. This is going to be an edition of STS Radio, and in this one we're going to be talking all about the Night of Champions 2014 pay-per-view coming up live on the WWE Network this Sunday. I think that honestly this show is all built around Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I think when you look over this card, they've got some matches on this show that really could stand out, and be good ones. Sheamus versus Cesaro, honestly, in my mind, hasn't gotten a whole lot of love, but they're going to be fighting over the United States Championship. That's a good match. Ziggler versus Miz, as always, should be another good one for the IC belt. We're going to have to see what they can do to try and save the WWE Divas division. I think that one's been slacking a little bit. And surprise, surprise, the main event of Monday Night Raw was Mark Henry against Rusev. In this string of videos, more than likely it's going to go about an hour. We're going to have this all recorded. We're going to put it up on the radio show. My buddy DJ, he's going to throw that up there on the online. Hopefully you guys all are over there. Hopefully you guys are all listening to it now. But basically, there's two big shows this week. There's Night of Champions that's on Sunday, which is probably going to get more, I guess you can say, of the love from the wrestling fans out there. That's going to be live on the WWE Network, pay-per-view style. As long as you're subscribed to the $9.99 stream, you're going to be getting that just about free of charge, in my mind. I watch so much stuff on the WWE Network that I never have anything. I've been on a kick. I've been watching a lot of WCW as of late. I think I got talked into it by all the hype of everybody going crazy about WCW Nitro leading up to that. But there's always something fun to go on there. Also, this Thursday is going to be No Surrender, the go-home pay-per-view for TNA. It's going to be held live on free, as long as you got cable, as long as you got Spike TV, you're going to be able to check this one out as well. No Surrender, this is the go-home pay-per-view. Bobby Roode going up against Bobby Lashley for the TNA Championship. Of course, this match was hyped up by the Six Sides of Steel, and hopefully it's going to be a good one from there. But I think most of our attention is going to be pointed in the direction of WWE tonight. We got 8 good matches leading up to this one. On the pre-show, we're going to be more than likely seeing a match get named to this. I'm not sure, from watching Monday Night Raw, what direction they're going to go in. Jack Swagger got the big win over Bo Dallas. Is that feud over and done with now, or is that a match that could be added to the pay-per-view to go on the pre-show? Maybe Big Show going up against Bray Wyatt. We got to see Big Show get a DQ win after the Wyatts came down and crushed up on Big Show. Or was that just for, something to make Bray Wyatt look like he's a big deal after him and his buddies got squashed by John Cena just a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw? I'm not quite sure, but Chris Jericho is going to be a guest on the Peep show with Christian. Christian is the guy that, he had this show in the past when he was the heel. I think they've used this when he was a babyface as well, but I think for the most part he's always been a heel doing this show in the past. And he was a good host of a WWE-style talk show, taking up a segment that always sort of led to some sort of a feud over the Intercontinental Championship or something like that. I think always the Peep show normally revolved around his sort of matches. He just wasn't out there for no reason, being the intermediary between two guys going out there and battling it all out together. Christian seems like his job these days in the WWE is just to be on the pre-show. We've seen him be on the panel with him and Booker T for probably the last 3 shows now, if I can remember right. And I guess he's not going to be on the panel. He's going to be in the ring. I think he was on the panel not for this NXT special, but the NXT special before. Back in March, before WrestleMania, he wrestled in a match on Monday Night Raw. It was a 4-way to find the #1 contender to go up against Biggie Langston for the Intercontinental title. Christian won the match, but he suffered a concussion in that match, a concussion that he still hasn't come back from after all of these months. He's always one of those guys that is on the back of everybody's mind, thinking if he's going to have some sort of a return. A few months ago, I I can't remember if it was Payback. I think it was the Payback Intercontinental Battle Royal, where they were naming a new champion after stripping Wade Barrett. I apologize if that's not the right show, but I think I picked Christian as my, sort of surprise guest. Chris Jericho had Christian on his show that week, and they had a good long discussion on Talk with Jericho. Really, really good podcast. If you guys haven't been checking it out, make sure you give that a download over at podcast1.com. But at the end of the show, Jericho said that they had filmed that podcast a few months before, and he was waiting to release it at a time when it was more topical. And Christian is the guy that we hadn't been talking about in a long time since his injury. And, I sort of took that as topical as a time when Christian was going to make his return. And why else have a return for Christian if he's not going to be doing something big? We've seen him come back and win Battle Royals for the Intercontinental Championship before in the past. And I thought that was going to be it. But it just seems that WWE just doesn't have anything for the guy. I've heard reports saying that basically Christian is a guy that has that label on him that basically he's going to get injured if you put him in the ring. So I guess they're just counting down the days until his contract ends, just sort of keeping him away from everybody else. Maybe something will come up for this guy. He's a real good host when they put him on the pre-show. The guy's seems like a guy who knows what he's doing in the ring. He's always been one of those guys that you can always trust to have a good match with just about anybody. I don't know why you wouldn't want to see if he would want to be a trainer down. He already lives in the Florida area down there. I'm not sure if he wants to wrestle anymore. If he did, I'm sure that if he did get his WWE release, TNA would love to scoop him up and bring him up. They always made him look like a real big deal when he was there. He could definitely be one of the guys could step into the company if they still wanted to run the Hall of Fame gimmick, and he can be looked at as one of the biggest stars that's ever been in that company. I know he came in there. He was the first person to ever choose TNA over WWE, he sort of... a lot of people say that he took a step back when Angle came in, but honestly, I think that he just kept rolling with the punches. I think maybe TNA saw the writing on the wall that he wasn't going to resign, and maybe that's why they stepped the character back a little bit. But Kurt Angle was a force that had to be, pushed to the limit. They had brought him in. He's a bigger name than Christian is. Olympic gold medalist. Honestly, when it comes down to it, I think that Angle's a better wrestler. So they made the right decision. I mean, when you only have one championship, you can only put it on one guy. And I think Angle was the guy definitely to put the focus on. He should have been the main guy of TNA. But I'm not real sure what they're going to do with this sort of thing. I know that they got the Authority all pissed off at Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho already has a match on the show going up against Randy Orton. So it's kind of lost to me. I know Jericho beat Kane on Monday Night Raw tonight. So is Jericho just going to just talk it up and be friends with Christian, or is the Authority going to butt their head in on this, and maybe Kane's going to try to attack Jericho to give Orton the leg up in their match? We'll have to see, but that's going to be the episode 1, and I'm not sure what they're going to do for the pre-show to add something else to it. Normally in the last few ones we've seen 2 matches instead of 1. Maybe Big Show versus Bray Wyatt, maybe I had another one on the top of my head. Jack Swagger against Bo Dallas. We'll have to see, but that's going to be the pre-show, and we'll get into the matches from here on out.